I will call the meeting to order. It's 9:01 on Thursday, October 23rd. My name is Dawn Hager-Nordblom, the chair of the Environmental Advisory Committee, and I'm in Maui by myself. Michelle or Rachel?
Sure. Michelle Lefebvre, exemption chair in Hilo by myself.
Aloha, good morning. My name is Rachel Sprague. I'm an environmental council member. I'm calling from the island of Lanai, and there is no one here with me.
Thank you.
And then here in Environmental Review Central, Tom Eisen, planner with the program, with
Mary Alice Evans, Director of the Office of Planning and Sustainable Development.
and then we're being monitored by another ERP staff, just kind of controlling the technical aspects of the show.
Okay, great. I see that we have some members of the public. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hey, good morning. I'm Lyle Rowe with the Agribusiness Development Corporation, and I'm here for one of sorry, it's morning. Coffee has not hit. I'm here for item 4, agenda item 4.
Thank you. And I see Hannah is on. Go ahead, Hannah.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Hannah Kiblinger, and I am on the Big Island of Hawaii. I am currently a trail steward with DLNR, and I'm just listening in today.
Thank you so much, Hannah and Lyle. Just for the record, I will note that I asked Hannah to volunteer on the Environmental Advisory Committee. And so I'm really pleased that you're attending our meeting to see how it runs and what we discuss. And hopefully we can send some resumes toward boards and commissions and to Mary Alice to get some new board members. So I appreciate that.
I am so excited. Thank you very much, everyone, for having me.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I guess we will go to agenda item 2, a review and adoption of minutes from Tuesday, September 2nd. If everyone wants to take a minute, or I'm not sure if you already looked at the minutes and are okay with them. So just let me know. A couple minutes, maybe? Okay. Does anyone have any comments or concerns about the minutes from September 2nd?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we have Mary Alice Evans, Director's Report.
Good morning, members. I want to note first that we are taking a little bit longer to conclude our draft of the rule amendments that will bring us into compliance with Act 153 2. And so we hope to have those to the council members at our next meeting. I apologize for the delays. We're working with our deputy AG and trying to make sure that what we give you for your consideration and recommended changes is as clean a draft as we can manage. It's been a relatively quiet month, I think. I'm going to turn the mic over to Tom to report on some of his the outreach and contacts and questions that have been posed to our staff. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, there's been a fair number of trainings that I've offered to actually housing offices. That was kind of been a big recipient collectively and then some individually also. So it was helpful and interesting to hear the questions about the process that they seem to have in general. And then the constant stream of just questions and often some very interesting brain teasers about the application of the process to in unique situations. And we try to provide some things to think about. We can never tell the stakeholders exactly kind of what is right or how to interpret the rules, but offer some perspective on what they may think about. And that there seems to be no shortage of questions. So it's an interesting situation, but it's been busy with that, plus everything else.
And Tom, with those trainings, do you often do them in person or are they mostly over Zoom, like for housing and stuff?
The housing, it was a collective thing. So that was done online because it was staff from housing agencies across all the counties and state. It was organized by the state, HHFDC, which deals with a lot of this, and they kind of have their own set of issues, concerns, frustrations. So we're it was helpful to coordinate with all of them. But some of the trainings, the one just last week with the City and County's Department of Community Services was a in-person. I prefer those. They kind of get more engagement with the crowd and see if they're falling asleep or if they're figuring it out, seeing if light bulbs go off in their head. So I like that way, but whatever is more practical will do.
With the housing training, was there much talk about HUD requirements or the interaction with HEPA and NEPA? Did that come up,
Yeah,
or was it just
that certainly did come up, and looking for guidance on how to, since the HUD seems to be the big driver of it, and maybe they're doing and there's a NEPA thing, and how to convert that to a HEPA thing, or some of them would just hope that it would count as is. And it's like, well, it's close, but not completely. And so I'm helping them hopefully understand the differences. I'm not a great NEPA person. I've just picked it up from all the years of experience, but each federal agency has different rules. And so I certainly don't know all of the rules of all the agency. I just know in general, none of them satisfy HEPA as is, because they don't have the cultural analysis that HEPA requires.
HUD is so unique. Their EA format is essentially a form, right? That you fill out. So a HUD EA looks really different than other federal agency EAs. To your point, those attachments, though, those exhibits that you attach do have a lot of information that you can apply to HEPA. But yeah, exactly, it doesn't map directly over.
Right. One of these, not to put this too far, but discussion with, I think it was Army Environmental. They had a NEPA document and thought that they could apply directly to submit it to satisfy HEPA. And so as a relatively new staff, a civilian staff with the Army, and so kind of had to explain how the system works and how federal agencies are considered applicants and have to go through an agency. But I did explain a similar situation in the past where a state or county agency, actually it was the county planning department, was willing to use this NEPA CADX as the basis to determine that according to HEPA, an exemption was appropriate, just based on the information that was given to them. And so there can be this interplay between the two processes, which, so it's just good that they're familiar with the options and opportunities.
And Tom, maybe you can just explain for Hannah and Lyle the difference between the NEPA. NEPA is a federal and HEPA is a state, and the CADX is actually what feds use, so they can maybe follow along a little bit.
Yeah, well, the state's system of the environmental review process pursuant to Chapter 343 is largely modeled after the federal NEPA process, but there are some differences. And so they're different processes, and one doesn't inherently satisfy the other, but there's a lot of overlap between the two. And on the federal system, they have this pathway, I guess, the categorical exclusion, which is vaguely similar to our exemption process. And again, it's not a one-for-one match, but somewhat similar. It's an expedited process through to get to the end without having to do a more detailed analysis. But we can spend hours talking about the nuances of all of this. A training.
But similarly, in NEPA, it's the federal agency developing their CADX list, right? The way that we're about to get to in our next agenda item, right? Where agencies, state and county agencies develop exemption lists. It's a similar process on the federal side.
The perfect segue.
Yes.
So Michelle, would you like to take it away for your exemptions committee conversation?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have one list on the agenda, which is ADC's list. It was published. What day was it published, Lyle?
I think right before last notice. Sorry.
For the notice before.
Yeah.
End of September.
End of September 23rd. That's right. So the 14-day public review period closed. One comment was received that was posted on the ERP website. Well, ADC's response to that comment, which just clarified what a type 5 part 1 exemption was. So that was the only comment received. It was a little vague in nature. So the response was just really just pointing them to the rules, which seemed appropriate. I have no other comments. We've already addressed all exemption committee comments on the list. And seeing as the public had no comments, I guess, does anyone else on council have any other comments or questions for ADC?
No, but thank you so much, Lyle, for showing up at the meetings and working with us and us working with you. And I hope that your list will help you for at least the next 5 to 10 years, if not 20. But maybe you come back in 5, 7 years. I did say 5.
No, I think our next step is incorporating into our process the reporting. So when our board does declare something exempt, we haven't been the best at reporting that to the review process, the environmental report. So that's something we will be better at.
Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up question to Lyle? Lyle, has the ADC board delegated determination of Part 1 exemptions to the executive director and staff?
They have not actually.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't actually thought about that. But that for Part 1 anyway, I think that would be appropriate.
I mean, the actions under Part 1 for all of those types are really de minimis. And to have to take them to a board that only meets once a month could be, so some of them are, repairs that need to be done immediately. I just a suggestion that it probably doesn't make sense to have determinations of Part 1 type exemptions.
For the board.
Yeah, go to the board.
Yeah, let me, I'll take that up with our executive director, and if she's agreeable, at our next agenda meeting, I'll discuss that with the chair and see if he's agreeable.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Well, hearing no other comments, then I recommend that the Environmental Advisory Council concur with the list. I guess I move the council concur with the list.
I will second that.
Raise hands.
So the motion passes. Next step is then, since there are no changes to the list, I think we just have ADC right add on the top concurred with by Environmental Advisory Council on, and then today's date. And Lyle, if you could send that to the ERP address, then they will publish that on the ERP website with the list of concurred with agency lists, exemption lists.
I will do my darndest to remember to strip out the word draft.
Yes, and that.
Thank you, Lyle.
I'll have that out this morning sometime.
Yeah, great.
And thanks
We
everyone
can
for
publish
working
it.
with us.
We'll publish in the next notice, presuming it gets submitted. I believe the submittal deadline is the end of the month. Maybe
Okay.
you can do that, but if you get it in right away, it should be no problem to publish that. In the next
I'll make sure I do.
Thank you, Lyle.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
really appreciate all your really quick turnaround, Lyle. It just made this process so super easy. So thank you so much.
Likewise.
Thank you. And I would like to just mention for Hannah, since you are potentially looking at joining the committee, that so Michelle is in charge of the exemptions committee, and basically what she does is she'll get a list from an agency or county agency or state agency to review their exemptions, which allows them to I guess you could say meet the criteria for 343 in terms of I don't know, I wouldn't really, Michelle, maybe you could say it better for me, but basically these lists come to the state, we review them, and then each state has to review their list within 5 to 7 years. And it's basically allowing people, or 7 years, sorry, agencies like DOFA to actually buy paper clips and small line item things and or repair and maintenance projects like trail repair. So hopefully that helps put it in context. And if I'm missing something, Michelle, please let me know.
I think we have published on the website the policies and procedures. Did we end up publishing that, or was that just an internal working document?
We'll have to check. I don't recall.
That's okay. Or it's published associated with one of our meeting minutes. But yeah, the process is that we just, we're essentially a good housekeeping seal of approval. We review lists to make sure that the types and parts sort of match up with the law and the rules. So we're just sort of giving it another pair of eyes, giving a little feedback, suggestions for agencies, both state and county, to consider. But certainly the intent is, to help them, as Lyle said, as they go through deciding whether project or program meets the criteria for exemption, that they have a list tailored to the kinds of projects that agency does. So it's an opportunity for them to sort of think through what they do and how that fits under different exemption types.
If I might add, just to reiterate, these exemption lists are guidance documents that the agencies prepare in advance to have available, so that when a specific proposed action comes up that's maybe ripe or eligible for an exemption, then this document can help them come to the determination if an exemption is in fact appropriate.
I see. Thank you, everyone. That does clarify some questions that I had.
Yeah, it's supposed to help staff not have to reanalyze every single action that the agency might need to take in the course of their regular duties and responsibilities. It's supposed to make it an easier, more streamlined process to determine, for an agency to determine if something is an exemption within 343.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we have discussion on the annual report already. Yay. So last year's annual report was quite easy to do. So I'm assuming this year's annual report should be very easy to do since we didn't have as many members and or information committees. What are your thoughts on everything? And I see we have a new member of the public. Katie, do you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. Aloha, everyone. Katie Roth. I'm with the Commission on Water Resource Management at DLNR. Just listening and thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we're talking about the number 5 discussion of the Environmental Advisory Committee annual report. Michelle, Rachel, do you guys have any thoughts, comments?
I mean, I think, as you noted, it's been sort of a light year with a really small group. So I'm always in favor of making it, yes, as little burden on the 4 of us and on the staff as possible. So, you know, I think it's likely. I mean, I think if we could use last year's as a template and update where we can, you know, I always want annual reports to show off the work when there is stuff to talk about, but if it has, I think the forum organizing was really great, and I think that was there another one earlier in the year. That was kind of like the main
Yeah.
sort of thing that we did, right? Because it was mostly just like holding pattern for a lot of the year. So, yeah, I think for this one, make it as easy as can
Okay.
and emphasize the need for additional people,
Members.
members. Yep.
Which is why we have Katie and Hannah attending today. So I'm really hoping that we can present them to the boards and commissions and Mary Alice's approval, and we can get more people on board as well, besides whoever may be in the woodwork at the moment. Michelle, do you have any comments?
No, I mean, I agree with just using last year's template. I just pulled it up. It was on the website, and I think, you know, we can just update it. I'm happy to send an update for exemptions.
Okay. How about Tom, do you have the draft from last year that we sent over? And then we can just use that as a template, and then we can send it to each individual person and they can just update their section.
Yeah, I'll find it and get it out to y'all.
Okay, that'd be great. And then what is the deadline to get it back to ERP by?
I think this report is due 20 days prior to the start of the next regular session, which this year, because the 3rd Wednesday in January is actually the 21st, I think, the latest it can possibly be in sort of the, you know, shift. So it's, that makes it January 1st, which is a state holiday. So our operating goal is to have all of the annual reports that are required to be submitted to the legislature by 20 days prior to the start of the next regular session by December 29th or something like that. Nonetheless, walking that back from that submittal date, it would be helpful for us, since all of ours go through our DBID director's office. It would be helpful to get it by December 1st, since, you know, they also have, you know, a small staff, and with the 18 different divisions and agencies attached to DBID, and many of them having multiple annual reports for different programs, you know, they also have a, you know, a staffing shortage. So does that sound reasonable, December 1st?
Yes.
There.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, So Tom, you'll go ahead and you'll send us the draft and we'll go ahead and send it around and edit and send it back to you before December 1st.
Or just
Yeah,
the Word
so-
version from last year.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
minus some board pictures of Ron.
we, yeah, we can do.
What delete
Tom
those.
just, I just don't have the Word version, but if Tom sends us the Word, we can make all those updates.
Okay.
I have a suggestion. We could put some of those pictures from the environmental notice into the annual report. You know, the ones on the first page that are always very both beautiful and you know, exemplify one of the projects that is publishing a either EIS or an EA, whatever. So, you know, that would mean you don't have to look for graphics.
Yes. You know, I'm just wondering, can we actually do a little blurb on the chapter 343 as the annual report as a little, I mean, I know we normally don't do something like that. It's more like, you know, here are the highlights of the agency, but you know, we did do a presentation before the state for HCPO, and it would be nice to have a little discussion on why it was important.
You can do that under the INO committee outreach update, right? The
Yeah.
forum.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say that we want to do another date and time, but all I see is adjournment. So are we not allowed to talk about the next meeting because the agenda doesn't reference it?
I think that comes under announcements, so I think you can talk about
Okay.
that.
Okay. So I unfortunately will not be at the next meeting on November 4th because I'm having my gallbladder out, which is a little scary. But so if you guys wanted to do it on that date, I won't be available. But if you wanted to do it on another date before or after, I'll probably be available. So just let me know what you think in terms of calendaring for the next meeting.
And
Tom, can you-
I will, thanks, Don. I was also going to say, I will also not be able to make that meeting. I'm at a board meeting on the mainland. So, if we,
Yeah.
so I guess we probably would want to do another date.
would you like the staff to send a email sort of doodle poll or something with some options that you can indicate whether you're available or not?
Yeah, I think so. Since Jay isn't here at the meeting, that'd be appropriate.
Great.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his schedule is like in the future as well. So I know he's really busy. So yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'll trade
No.
places with you.
Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's a National Wildlife Federation board meeting and we're going to the Wind River Reservation in Wyoming
Oh,
to do a tour of the
Wow.
Tribal Buffalo Initiative first. So it's going to be very cool.
That's very cool.
And cold.
And cold.
And cold. I know Wyoming and not
Yeah.
that part is gonna be a challenge.
But
I'm sure you have,
fabulous.
yeah. Okay, so we'll do a doodle poll for the next meeting and Jay will respond and then we can just set the meeting at that time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone online from the general public, Katie or Lyle or Hannah, have anything to add or say anything?
Nope. I'm just here.
Thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you.
Nothing from me as well. Thanks again.
Great. Okay, it is 9:30 and we're going to adjourn. And just FYI, this is a very quick meeting, so sometimes it's usually longer, Hannah and Katie. So just so you know, it sometimes can take an hour and a half. But thank you so much, everyone, for showing up at the meeting, and I appreciate it. And we'll see you next month at some point.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.